Venom here. In this video I want to show you my build that I have been playing for the last 2 weeks. So I'm playing a melee build. It's a Sentinel, a Paladin. I'm level 99 now with this build, and I wanted to show you how I played. I played with fire damage. Okay, so I will show you the skills first. This is Warpath, Reeve, Holy Aura, Lunge, and Judgement. We'll get back to this, but I want to start with the points from the passive skill tree. So when I started with Overwhelm. I really needed the melee physical damage per point, but then I dropped it because it doesn't give me more damage, so much more damage. There are other points that I need. So what I kept is Juggernaut. It gives me strength. The skills scale with strength, so they get more damage per each point of strength. I also get Fire Res and Void Res per point from this node. Then I have Fearless with Vitality and Health Regen. Vitality also gives Poison Resist, and as you can see also Necrotic Resist, and 6 health per point. So this is nice for defense. These are defense layers. This is another defense. It's armor clad, and it gives 75 armor, and damage taken from nearby enemies is minus 10%. Very nice. And then we go to Time and Faith. This is very nice if you use Reeve, Vengeance, Smite, or Multi-Strike. It gives us health and mana on hit. So this way you can regen your health and also gain your mana fast. I need it because you'll see how it works with the Judgement. And the last thing here I took is Blade Master. I am using an X, and it gives me a 30% attack speed for axes and swords if you use swords or axes. So this is very simple, nothing special. And these are kind of defensive nodes, and only this one is an offense point. And now we move to Paladin. At Paladin we start with this one with Conviction. It's for damage, a lot of damage. That increases physical damage, fire damage, and also gives us a lot of penetration. And then we use Defiance. It gives us Attunement. We use Attunement with Judgement. It boosts our damage, and also gives us some elemental res that is very, very good. You can max it out at the beginning if you want, if you don't have enough elemental res. So next on this row I take Phoenix Strike, the first one. This is very good because it gives us a chance to ignite, plus 12%. As I said, we're playing with fire and ignite. We just take 1 point here, so we can take the next node. As you can see, this one requires 1 point. And also here we take Valor. We take Valor so we have enough points for later. And then on the next row we take Blinding Light. And we take this for the endurance, not for blind chance, but the blind chance is good to have. But the endurance is the one we really like. It's a defense layer, and I will explain it later. It's very good to have endurance and endurance threshold. Now we move on this row. Here we have Raya strength, it gives us strength, very good for our build, and also fire damage on recent melee hit. So you have additional strength and you deal increased fire damage if you have hit an enemy with a melee attack recently, so in the last 4 seconds, and of course we are hitting them, and we get a lot more damage. And then I took this node. This node you don't really have to take it. You can take like a Valor, or I don't know, maybe Defiance or Phoenix Strike. You need this point to get the others from here, but you can use it wherever you want. I just took it because I needed some necrotic resistance. As you can see, I'm kept at 76% now because of this point that gives me plus 7%. Without this I wouldn't be kept. Okay, so now we don't take anything here. We don't really need it. Maybe this one for mana regen and atonement for judgment, but we don't really need it. The next row here, very important, it's increased armor, 40% increased armor and 40% crit strike avoidance. So armor is very good. It mitigates a lot of damage from every type of damage. So that's why we take all the 8 points. And then on the next row we don't take anything. So we are not playing on spell or crit chance. And we take on the next row, we have a connection and we take prayer or aegis. It gives us health, endurance threshold, and haste on heal when one below endurance threshold. This is not, it's useful, but we don't use it a lot. The main things are health and endurance threshold. Those are very good. And then on the last row we take increased damage. This gives us 8% fire damage per point. And I have 4 points here. You can also take this one if you like. This one gives us more mana and also increased health and damage per point. So this gives us less damage, but also some health and also mana. And the increased mana is very good because we are using Judgement, and you'll see why. But I decided not to take it. I decided to take the Light of Reich, and I took some points from Force Guard because it has some points that can help us, like this one, Weapons Master. It gives us 10 strength and also increased melee damage, so all our attacks are melee, and this is very useful. Also we have a connection that requires 1 point. It's the flesh from the forge. It's the next melee attack physical damage, and the next attack fire damage gives us +4. So this is useful, but doesn't give us a lot of damage, but I took it. So I took 1 point to get the connection to Champion of the Forge. So increased melee damage with a two-handed weapon. I'm playing with a two-handed axe, and that's why I wanted to take this node. I'm not using one-handed and shield. So another one on the first row I took, it's physical res when hit. I don't really need the phys res on hit, but the increased armor on hit is nice. Maybe I will drop it, I don't know. I'm kept at physical res without that node, and armor at 75%. I think with that point I get to 76%, so it's not a boost anymore. But no, before you get to this level and before you get to have good items, you really need it. And also from the Forge Guard you get plus 35% physical and fire res and increased armor for each hit you have taken in the last 10 seconds. And from the Paladin you deal increased fire, lightning and physical damage equal to your percent health remaining, so 1% increased healing effectiveness per point of atonement. And the last thing, it's crushing blows. This gives us a lot of damage per 1 mana cost, so for each 1 mana cost we'll get 3% increased damage. For example, if we use a skill that uses 50 mana, we will have 150% increased damage. So this is really nice for our Judgement skill, and I will show you why. But first let's get into the gear. So here into the gear we have we start with the helmet. We need this Sentinel helmet that gives us armor, endurance threshold, and also increased fire damage. As you can see, it's only rare. I don't have anything special on it. It gives me, as you can see, I have tier 5 atonement, tier 5 strength, tier 4 health regen, and tier 5 increased health. I only have tier 4 increased health regen, but I didn't find a better one for now, and I will use this. Then I have this amulet that gives me fire res and lightning res. This is not the best one that I want. I would like one that gives me an implicit with less damage over time, but for now it's doing fine. It's an exalted amulet that gives me tier 6 increased fire damage, and also I have increased damage while channeling, and Warpath is a channel skill, sorry. And also I need poison res and necrotic res. Then I have this armor that I was lucky to find. As you can see, it has 550 armor, and I found it with tier 6 Warpath that gives me increased melee damage and also +2 to Reeve, increased melee damage. This is very good. I also have armor and reduced damage taken from critical strikes and some phys res. So I think it's very nice. Could have been better, but I didn't want to push it, and I didn't have the materials to craft it then, and it stayed like this. So now we have the axe. I chose to play the Radiant axe. It gives me +60 melee damage, so every skill is melee damage, +60 to melee fire damage. It gives damage to Judgement and to Warpath. Unfortunately to Reeve it doesn't work, the melee fire damage. And also we have 13% fire penetration. So as you can see, I found it with tier 6 increased melee attack speed. Melee attack speed is very good. It boosts your damage a lot. And I added melee fire damage. Also that one boosts your damage very much. And as a suffix I have chance to poison on hit. That's not what I wanted, but I couldn't change it. And +5 to all attributes, that is nice. So this is a very good weapon. You can have better. You can have one with 5 affixes and also another one with chance to ignite on hit, that would be nice. Okay, for the belt I'm using a bronze belt. It gives me fire damage, chance to find potions, some health and endurance threshold. You can find better, but for now this is the best I could find. For the ring we have a ring with health regen, 2 rings with health regen. So as you can see, this one gives me elemental damage, strength, endurance and fizz res. You can change the resistances as you need them. It's not necessarily to have the same resistances on the same items as I do. You can play with whatever you need. And this one as well gives me health regen, increased health regen, strength, fire damage and elemental resistance. So nothing special about the rings. Also the boots, I play with the boots with armor, increased movement speed and fire res. Although I don't need fire res, I have 137% fire res. But these boots have 14 health regen per second. That helps my regen go a lot higher. So those are very good for me. And for the relic, I played this Sentinel Solar Commandment of Life. It gives me fire damage as an implicit, and this one has +2 to Judgement. That is really nice. I don't play with healing, so increased healing effectiveness is not very useful, but that's the best I could find for now. And then as you can see, I have 2 tier 6 suffixes, tier 6 health and tier 6 elemental res. So this helps me cap my resistances. You can see here I am 57% at cold, but I'll show you later I am capped at cold as well. And the gloves. These are some experimental gloves. As you can see, I have 5 affixes. The sealed affix, it's very good. These gloves are not the best because they only give me 36 armor. I would play with some gloves like this. It gives you endurance and 75 armor, but unfortunately I couldn't find any that gives me armor mitigation, also applies to damage over time, and armor. So that is very important for damage over time. You will mitigate if you have a lot of armor. That will mitigate that damage over time as well, like poison or I don't know, ignite or anything that's damage over time will get mitigated by the armor you have. So this is very good and is worth to play these, even though it doesn't have a lot of armor and endurance. I think that these are better, and also I have melee attack speed, strength, health regen, and also some health. So yes, these are the items that I have, the gear. Of course you can do much better. The one thing that for this build is a downside is that you don't have any uniques that really gives you a lot of bonuses. We have some uniques, like there is a ring. Let me see if I can find it. There is a ring that I played with, but it's not that good in the end, so I decided to change it. Let me see. Let's see, fire damage. I don't remember where I put it. Let's see here. So as you can see, you can use this one, but it's also for minions. Also this one increased fire damage, but health gain on potion use. Chance to cast fire aura, but you don't have fire aura. So spell fire damage for 4 seconds when you use a potion. You can use it, but I guess the relic is better, the one that I have. Don't remember where I put. Also, this ring, fire damage, chance on hit to gain 2 ward per ignite. So this is not for me. Increased damage over time. That gives you intel. Bleed chance converted to ignite chance. You can use this, but only if you play something with a lot of bleed, so you will convert it to ignite. I don't remember. So this is the ring that I used. This is, I think, the best you can find for this build that is a unique. But also Flame Reef hits enemies in an expanding circle around you. You don't have that skill, and also +7 Flame Reef mana cost. You don't have that skill. So basically you're using just chance to ignite, increase fire damage over time, and melee fire damage. And I don't think those are the best that you can use. So this is a downside, that you don't have any uniques that you can transform in legendary, but it's also an upside. If you want to start a build, you don't need any specific legendary, and you can start league start this build without any problems. Okay, so that's all for gears. Like I said, you can do better. You can find and have all exalted, and also you can have 5 stats. Like there are, if you seal one of them, you can have 5 stats. And then let's move to the idols. The main thing I'm playing is this singularity that I found. I guess this would be very nice to have. It's not mandatory, but it gives me 16% more hit damage if you have only one singularity equipped. If you don't find this, that's no problem. You can play without it, but this gives you a lot of more damage, but you cannot deal critical strikes. So as you can see, I'm playing without critical strike. I don't have any item that has critical strike. Okay, let's move on. And so here we have some idols, like this one that says 11% of lightning damage taken as physical. I have cold taken as physical, and also fire taken as physical. So this means that I will take less elemental damage. Well, but the damage will be converted to physical damage. And when they're converted to physical damage, they have the same mitigation from physical, but the armor mitigates 75% of the physical damage, and instead on elemental res it only mitigates 53% of the damage. So this is nice against elemental res. And also on these idols I have fire penetration with melee attacks, that is very good, armor, and health. It's not necessary to play with these 3. You can swap them with anything else. Maybe you're not kept at resistances, and you can add some idols that gives you res or some damage, whatever you need. I have here another idol that gives me chance to ignite on hit and fire penetration. Fire penetration is always nice. Here I use this one for increased health plus health, increased plus armor and plus health, and this one is for poison resistance. I'm kept at poison resistance without this one, but when you get poisoned, the poison resist is getting lower, so I really want to have at least 20% over the 75%. So these are the idols. You can change them as you wish. Maybe you won't need poison res, you'll need something else. But these are the ones that I use. And I have some idols. You can choose whatever you want, whatever you think it's best for your build. Okay, moving on to the blessings. So blessings are very important. So the first blessing is this one that drops a unique increased unique drop rate. I won't be talking about the drops one, only about the ones that gives you some good stats. Here you can choose whatever you want to farm, but I will talk about these ones. So this one gives me void res. It's a Grand Echo of Solarum. As you can see, it can give me up to 75% void res. So I'm kept at void res because of this blessing. Then we have the End of Storm. This one gives me health regen. As you can see, I'm regenerating 213 life per second. So this increase is very nice, 151. It gives me up to, it can give you up to 200%. So you can farm to get the better roll. Here we have Grand Hunger of Dragons. This one gives me melee damage, leeches health. So this is very nice. We are playing a melee build, and also it's a stat that helps us sustain when we are fighting. Another important one is Grand Body of Obsidian. That gives us armor. As you can see, you can get up to 320 armor. I have only 214. I will farm this to get a better roll. And also a good one is the Grand Bulwark of the Tundra that increases our armor. And here we have increased class specific sharp drop rate. Doesn't matter. It doesn't boost our character, sorry. So these are the idols, and these are very good for this build. Also, there are some other things that you can have. Instead of void res, maybe you want endurance threshold. Let's see what we have here. So in the first monolith we don't have anything that we can use to make our character better. Not here. So here we have also health if you want. Void res that I'm using. Dodge rating, we don't use dodge. Void damage, we don't use what? Void damage. We have chance to ignite on hit. This is a booster for our damage if you want to use it, if you're kept at the void or any other reses. We have crit strike multiplier, we don't use. Health gain on kill, it's not very helpful. Health gain on block as well, we don't need it because we don't block. And spell damage leeches life, we don't need. I still have 4 blessings that I didn't discover, but I guess for me the one with the void res is the best because it caps me at void res. So here we have some other drops. Here we have mana, increased health regen, the one that we're using, increased lightning damage, you have lightning damage, word per second, chance to shred lightning resist, chance to shock, freeze rate, stun chance, and ward gain on potion use. Also, there are 4 other blessings that I didn't discover. Here are some drop rates again. Here again on these blessings we have all res, that is nice, instead of melee leached as health. So depending on what you need, you may be using this one or necrotic res, physical damage, or chance to bleed on hit. Also, there are some blessings that I didn't discover, but this is a very good one for me. And the one with the armor, you can get other things that you can use, like this endurance threshold, that is very good. But I think increased armor is the best for me and for this build. And also here, armor, fire res, endurance. So these are all the blessings that you can use. You can play with them, but I think these are the best that you can use for this build. So now let's move to the skills. So as you can see, now I have 70% cold and only 46% endurance, but as soon as I move to a place where my skills are active, you'll see that I'm kept at cold, and also I have more endurance. Okay, so now as you can see, I have 92% cold and 58% endurance. The endurance is kept at 60%. I just need 2 more, but that really doesn't matter. If I use the holy aura, if I activate it, I will be kept. As you can see, I have 70% when I'm using holy aura. So I'm kept at every resistance. I have armor that mitigates some damage, and I also have endurance 58% and endurance threshold 551. Like I said, you can get it better with better items. And also I have 230 health regen and 1800 health. This is not very much, but it's good enough. So health regen, as well as the other stats, when I use holy aura, it will get better. You can see 248, and I have 73 strength, 23 atonement, and 27 vitality. Dex and intel, we don't care. So now let's move to the skills. So the first skill would be Reeve that I use. So because I'm playing a fire damage build, I use this one. I go this way with Sever, and first strike has a chance to ignite enemies. It has 100% chance to ignite. This one, the second strike, has 100% chance to ignite. And then savagery, this one, it gives me more damage to ignited targets. So all my targets will be ignited, so I will do 45% more damage against the ignited items. So the enemies, sorry. So the damage you see here, it's not the whole damage, because the enemies will be ignited and they will get more damage from this skill. Also, I I take this for the third strike that deals damage in a larger area. The third strike will leech some damage, and the third strike will do more damage. And the last one, the third strike kill threshold is 15%. So when the enemies get to 15% or less, I will instantly kill them with the third strike, and this is very nice for bosses. When a boss gets to 15% life, you only have to hit them once and they will die. And for the remaining points, I use this one, so I will have more attack speed with the first and second strike. This way I will get faster to the third one that will give me more damage and also the killing threshold. And with the two remaining points, I choose to put them in Iron Reach, that gives me damage, more damage, and also more area. So this is the skill that we use to attack and recoup our mana from the passive skill tree. From here we use this one, we get 20 health and 8 mana on hit with that skill. Then we have Warpath. Warpath is for clearing. So what we do, we take the area damage. It deals damage in a larger area, and then we are taking this one that gives us more damage, 40% increased damage, and it's doubled with a two-handed weapon. So we're using 200x, so this is good for us. And also here, if you're using an X, we have global melee health leech with X plus 10%. That is very good for sustaining when we're in combat. Then we take this Unchained. It gives us -4 to the channel cost, and also this one that gives us -6. So basically it's 1 mana cost, and it should be 0, but I think the game doesn't work like this. So 1 mana cost, but you can spin forever. It won't take you 1 mana, I don't know why. And this one gives us -6 mana cost, but also -30 elemental res. But as you can see, we're almost kept when we channel. So other nodes that we're taking, it's Quicksilver Wind. So we can go to bleed chance, and with this point we're making the physical damage to fire, because this is a physical skill, but we're transforming it to fire damage, and also the bleed, it's transformed to ignite chance. So here plus 30% bleed, it's going to be 30% ignite chance. And also here with this skill we are boosting our damage. We get more fire damage to ignite it, and fire penetration with ignite. Also, this is another damage boost, Warrior's Fury. It gives us plus 20% damage per second and plus 20% area per second. But also the mana cost will get higher every second. So I will go here and I will show. At the beginning you only consume 1 mana, then 2, then 6, and so on. And then you're out of mana and cannot cast it anymore. So that's when we use Reeve to get our mana back, like this, and then we can cast Warpath again. Okay, move to the Holy Aura. The Holy Aura here is a buff that is also, it's passive. We get increased damage and 15% elemental res. When we activate this this skill, we get the, as you can see, it says doubles the stat bonuses for 4 seconds. Sorry. So here I went with the health regen. So it gives us plus 40% health regen. I went with Shelter from the Storm, that gives us elemental res and also endurance. These two are defense layers or defense boosters. And then for damage I went to Ignite Chance, Fire Penetration, global fire damage, and attack speed. So if you get more levels, because you can see this is only level 20, you can get this one as well, Flame Burst, and also cap your Shelter from the Storm, or maybe physical damage, but physical damage you will only use for Reeve. So I suggest you use Flame Burst or Shelter from the Storm. Okay, then we have Lunge. Lunge is our movement skill. So I cannot show you here because it only attacks or only moves on different monsters or targets. So this is very good because we gain missing health. So if you're low on health, you can use this one, and it will give us 32% of the missing health back. I will change this. I guess I can put it to 5. And also it will damage the enemies along the path. This is not very important, but it's nice to have. Also, we take this node for the cooldown reduction. Here we have additional cooldown recovery and health gain. So we gain here 32% of the missing health plus 20 when we use the skill. We have a melee damage to high health. We took 2 points here, so we can go to the double strike. So now we have an additional charge. We can use it 2 times, but it has a longer cooldown. And here you grant other nearby allies haste for a short duration based on the distance traveled. I don't know, I guess I made a mistake. I will respect this point because I'm playing alone and I don't have allies to give them haste. And that's why 1 point was missing from here. And I took some frailty chance here and some more damage here. Okay, so let's move to the last skill and the one that we use that do the most damage. As you can see, we have 71,000 damage per second, but I don't think this is correct. We do more damage than this, because I will show you why. So this is a hit damage against high health enemies, so I don't think it's taking into consideration that the enemy is on high health, so it should be more. And also against rares and bosses we get even more damage, plus 80%. Here we have Ignite Chance and Fire Penetration with Ignite. Then I don't think it's taking into consideration that the hit damage against enemies is bigger. As you can see, Judgement hits and Consecrated Ground deal more damage against ignited enemies. So the hit will do more damage against ignited enemies, and all our enemies are ignited. And also here we have more damage per 1 mana. This means 2%. We will get 2% per each mana. So the cost is 55 mana. We'll get 2% more damage for each mana. This means we get 110% for each mana that scales up with another point that we took over here, and that is crushing blows. That gives us another increased damage per mana cost. So I don't know if this shows correctly, but I guess it doesn't, because it doesn't calculate how much mana we consume, because we have this node as well, and says this well, also sorry, I got it wrong. Here as you can see, it says current mana consumed, it's 100%, but here we have only 55 mana cost. So actually, when we use Judgement, it doesn't consume 55 mana, it consumes all our mana, so the damage is a lot higher. Let me show you. As you can see, it used all our mana. We can use this only twice, and then we have to recharge it, but we can almost use it every second if we attack with Reeve. So also we have here Deliverance that increased health regen when we're in that second after the hit, and also this one gives us mana cost plus 40, and we use it for no cooldown. So yes, this is the skill that gives us a lot of damage. As you can see, now it shows 133,000 per second. Yes, so for Judgment the calculations are not accurate, but yeah, basically those are the skills that I use. And now I want to show you how you can play this build. So yes, this is the build. Please let me know what you think about it, and how can I improve it, and let me know what builds you're playing, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and if this was helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.